and how the body is actually fighting to bring us back to health each time, right? And the manifestation of that seems to impact on people as disease. That's the language they use. You know, this is bronchitis, that is measles, this is mumps, whatever.
Right.
But
those are healing attempts by the body. Brilliant. Therapeutic strategies designed because you made a mistake or you were subjected to somebody else's mistake. You know, they put a cell tower. So now you have a distorted signal, or because you believe nonsense. And if you believe nonsense all the time, you have a distorted signal. And that will make you have a distorted output, meaning you, and your body will try to heal that by breaking you down and making you sick so that you have a chance to live a better life. But if the people don't understand that, they think that there's something wrong with them, that they think that is the thing that's wrong with them, not the fact that you believe nonsense in the first place.
And this connects precisely with what you said in that little video snippet that I made allusion to when I emailed you a little while ago, Dr. Tom. You said humanity is at a crossroads because we're being bombarded with all kinds of signals like 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. And then there's all sorts of other things as well, right? We've got all of these environmental pollutants, the aerosols, the chemtrails, fluoride in the water, chemicals everywhere, that kind of thing. So we're being hit with a bunch of
poisons. The worst one of all is we believe in nonsense.
We believe in nonsense. So our mindset is also part of it. It's part of this mix.
That's part of the input.
Yeah.
That sets the stage. Because if you believe in nonsense, you will do stupid things.
Things which actually don't help you, but which might harm you in the process, like wearing the mask, right?
Right, or injecting yourself with poisons.
And, you know, that's the whole issue of vaccines. I know you've written a great deal about it, spoken about it as well. I wanted to ask you about things you've written about as being what contributes to health. And you said we need to look at water in a different way, the quality of water in our body. And you've also talked about healing and addressing things associated with the heart and with emotions. So did you want to talk about those kinds of things? How can we change the quality of the water in our body? Because from your understanding, it sounds like that's really important, right?
Right. We're made of organized water. So you have to have the right minerals, you have to have the right proteins. And you know, people throughout history have looked for and been healed by living waters, which, like Lourdes is an example.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, from the
miracle
miracle
all over the world of sacred waters. I mean, it says it in the Bible. You're made of water, you know, living water. It says it in the Quran. It says it in the Upanishads. It says it everywhere. We are made of living water. So instead, we drink, you know, poisoned, unstructured, unoxygenated, dead H2O stuff. And so, you know, we have to understand that this is the fundamental component of what we're made of, and have a system for the proper, you know, procurement of purified, moving, coherent, structured, mineralized, alive water. And the details of that, you know, are too long to get into, but that is what people are working on. How do you do that, you know? And you know, you have to right now you have to recreate how nature does it, because nature has always, you know, has created springs and, you know, places where this healing water, the Ganges, Lourdes, they're all over the place.
Mountain lakes, mountain streams, etc., forest streams. So, no, that's a wonderful and sort of an accessible kind of way to conceive of health, is starting with water, you know, so you focus on getting good, fabulous water into your body.
Yes. If you don't do that, you don't have a chance.
Okay. And then the other thing, looking at health in a kind of a holistic way and recognizing that emotions, thoughts, feelings, all of that as well contributes to health. Where does that come from?
Those are the inputs, right? Again, if you think about this system, so we have a radio, which is water, and then we have an antenna, and then we have inputs into that. And we need all the inputs to make a, complex organism called you. So you need to be out in the sun, and you need to hear the sounds of nature, birds and bees and trees whistling and cats meowing and sheep baaing. And most people go literally practically their whole life without hearing or seeing anything that isn't man-made.
Yeah, very sad.
Right? In the cities, everything is man-made or put there, and there's nothing that's just there because it's part of natural processes. But that's who we are. I mean, that's how we are organized. And so your inputs are, they're distorted. And so you end up with a distorted product, which means poor health.
And other outputs as well, because you have all of these inputs. So you can kind of change the nature of your inputs by being out in nature, existing more in harmony with, the natural biosphere, etc.
And
You
eating
talked
real
about
food and
eating real food.
thinking, thinking about reality, like what you can see. And, people really need to start thinking about the difference between believing and knowing. Like if, like take an inventory of the things you believe in, which you have no idea how anybody got to that, right? You have no idea how anybody proved the existence of a ribosome, but yet you believe it. And
because your biology textbook says so.
Yeah, because somebody said so. And you say, okay, tell me how they came to that. I have no idea.
Right.
How do you know there's a virus? I have no idea. So you're not knowing anything. Whereas I think, the people like the Price study, the healthy indigenous people, they didn't believe anything. They said they could communicate with trees, but that's not because they believed it. It's because they listened, and the tree said, you better build your house over there instead of over there. So they did it, and it worked better. They didn't. They heard the plants, not in English like us.
Right.
They heard something or saw something. They didn't believe it any more than you believe you have a hand. You don't believe you have a hand. You know you have a hand, therefore you can use it. The things you believe are usually not very useful.
So we need to move from believing to knowing and do the research or the delving to find the knowing and to find the reality, it sounds like. And
right.
You talked about...
If you don't know something, just say, I don't know, and I'm not going to believe anything until I know how this came about. And so in the meantime, because obviously you can't know everything or even a lot of things or most things, you should just like I just make a practice of, I don't know. I'm not going to believe either side.
Oh yeah. I'm unafraid to say I don't know either. If you don't know something, you've got to say it. Yeah,
I don't know. That's fine, because that's true. It's reality. Now, maybe if it's... The thing is, the virus thing is important, because if they're going to lock the whole world and, impoverish you because of this, you better know that one. At least somebody should, some doctor, somebody, and they don't know.
Absolutely, which is why this time period is so important, because I think the truth about what viruses are and are not is really surfacing at this point, and literally everybody needs to get a hold of this and understand completely exactly what you've described during this show, Dr. Tom. I mean, this has been a very in-depth, very fascinating conversation. I think I've certainly learned a great deal from it, which I need to delve into a lot more, because I certainly had no idea that large bodies of knowledge in the world of science are based not on actuality witnessed under an electron microscope, but rather on theory, it sounds
Yeah.
like.
It's
I
all
don't know
theory.
that
Even,
at all. Wow, that is major to me.
I
Something
mean,
I have to
nobody,
delve
for
into.
instance, even believed in, thought there was cells until 1859, I think, when this guy came up with the cell theory. You can't see a cell in a living person.